Hello, everyone. Jim Berenger here. Full Press NHL. Please subscribe, like this video, click the link below to subscribe to the channel Full Press Hockey Podcast. We're back again. Look, we're going to talk about the Edmonton Oilers, David Jiricek, and the rumors going around, talking about Jiricek going to the Oilers. Yours truly, for RG Media, put out a post yesterday saying that David Jiricek and the Edmonton Oilers have been linked. There's interest from the Oilers to add a top four defenseman, add a young defenseman to their group. Look, it's been documented, as we have here on Full Press Hockey and over on multiple other sites on rg.org and NHLRumors.com, that the Edmonton Oilers have been looking for a defenseman ever since they did not match the offer sheets for Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway. And look what Broberg did with the St. Louis Blues, and good on the Blues for doing that, to be aggressive. But the Oilers and new general manager Stan Bowman chose cap space and the priorities later on with Evan Bouchard and Leon Draisaitl on Connor McDavid over keeping a young piece like Broberg in town, because what he had done in the playoffs, what he had done in the final, he had stabilized that top four. He was a young piece, but again, the direction with young players, they were up and down, up and down, up and down, and then they finally played him. And he wanted to get paid, and he took the offer sheet. Now the Oilers are struggling defensively. Yes, they beat the New York Rangers 6-2. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Bouchard, everybody took off, and Stuart Skinner played well. But defensively, in front of Skinner recently, they haven't been playing well. And yes, Darnell Nurse back in the lineup helps. Evan Bouchard playing well, but they don't have anybody to solidify their top four. No Broberg. Cody Cece's out. Vinny Desharnais not there. So where do you look? Well, you look to a kid like David Jiricek. He's not playing in Columbus. And again, another situation similar to Broberg. As mentioned on the last Rumors podcast with myself and David Calabretta, he's not playing. He's in the AHL. He's up and down, up and down. There's no direction there. They want him to develop. They want him to get minutes. But it looked like he was promised NHL minutes, and he's not getting it. And now this is his second general manager that's come in, Jarmo Kekalainen, picked him. And look, they've been taking calls. Don Waddell admitted it to Jimmy Murphy at RG Media that, hey, we're taking calls. We're looking to improve. Now teams are calling, and it feels like with his move to the AHL, the time is now. And according to sources, they're saying it's coming. It feels imminent. And there are two suitors out there, the Edmonton Oilers and the Nashville Predators. The Predators obviously have the 3 first-round picks. They got a deep base. Again, Dante Fabro, who I had linked, according to sources, to the Edmonton Oilers in the summer. And then, obviously, Frank Saravalli came out as well to confirm it. Also, look, you look at what the Oilers have. They don't have a lot. They don't have a first-round pick. If they could get a first-round pick and then use it on Jiricek, that would be huge. But they just don't have one right now. So could they get another package together to get Jiricek? Again, I agree with Elliot Friedman, who said on Saturday headlines he doesn't think that there's the package there from the Edmonton Oilers, but he also said that he had confirmed my report saying that the Oilers had been talking, and that's what they're doing. They're laying the groundwork, right? We're laying the groundwork right now for trades because the salary cap is an issue. Teams with money can't move money in, money out, so it's very, very tough. That's why we wait to the trade deadline, but they're doing their due diligence now, and that's what the Oilers are doing because they understand they need a top four defenseman. They need a young defenseman. Now, look, there's another defenseman out of Montreal, David Savard, who they've been linked to as well, Marco D'Amico, also at rg.org. As mentioned also on Full Press Hockey, on our rumors and rumblings section, that David Savard is going to be available at the trade deadline from the Montreal Canadiens. He's a player that they can move out. The Edmonton Oilers would be a good spot. Nashville's been linked. Look, pipe dream, right? At Montreal, David Jiricek, they could use somebody on the right side. But the Edmonton Oilers, to me, is a good fit because they're going to make up for a mistake by letting Broberg go. Again, you moved out CC. You bring in Emerson. Okay, that's fine. But you knew Evander Kane was going on LTIR. Everybody did. Except, everybody said, oh, well, he's not. They're not going to do it. I said before the Broberg offer sheet and the Holloway offer sheets were not matched, I said, all you have to do is move out CC, which happened, and put Kane on LTIR because he wasn't going to play. And that gave you more time to look into the situation later on down the road. Now, who knows if Kane comes back later in the season, that's fine, but you had more time to give yourself to look into making a move. Maybe he doesn't come back and you would have been fine. But I understand it's 2 years down the road they're looking, but you should be looking at it right now, and you're in the winning business. Broberg would have helped out. So, again, keeping an eye on it, David Jiricek, his time in Columbus is coming to an end. It's not just a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And it's the right package for the player. Don Waddell has not set what he wanted, but you know it's going to be something, maybe a little bit more than Ivan Provorov, because that's probably a cheap deal that they can get him out of town. But Jiricek, it's going to take some work, but it makes sense for the Oilers. It also makes sense for the Predators. Again, Dante Favreau's in Columbus right now, and he's playing well. He just needed to change of scenery. Sometimes, while defensemen take a little bit more time than forwards, sometimes a change of scenery is all you need. So, again, keep an eye out. Jiricek, Oilers. Again, there's interest. They've been calling. Same with Nashville. There's some other teams as well. Again, our trade proposal, as you saw in our last video, David Jiricek, Shane Wright, Seattle Kraken. Does that make sense? Look, teams do their due diligence, and you see what happens later on. I'm not saying it's happening now. I'm not saying it's happening 2 months from now. But the Oilers have called about David Jiricek, and it does make sense. But, again, do they have the pieces to do it? And would Columbus want to give him up for less than market value? Jim Berenger here, Full Press Hockey. Keep it locked on here. Full Press Hockey Podcast. Click the link. Like the video. Stay tuned. Check out fullpresshockey.com for more articles. Full Press NHL Podcast every week. iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Also up on YouTube. Guys, take care. Follow along for the ride.